All right, thank you all so much, those of you who are joining this show at this time. Today is Tuesday, May 25, 2021. I should be able to kick off saying like a minute or so. You know, this is a very new platform. Once we get people on it, you join, you share before we continue. All right, so thank you so much, all of you who are joining. All right, okay, so I'll kick off this show in exactly 60 seconds from now. Certainly, we would have had a couple of people on the platform already. So uh, once we get the numbers, we should be able to go. Okay. Make sure when you join, you share. I think that's what we should be doing at this time. You are all aware that this is a very new page, very, very new. All of our pages have been taken out, including the big national telegram that you know. So we're going to do with what we have. So I should start as soon as we maybe a quarter of a thousand or so or something. And all right, thank you, all of you who are joining. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. All right, thanks. You join, you share. It's a new page, very new. I mean, I think this show is probably going to last an hour and 30 minutes or less, but we're going to make sure that we square down on everything that we need to talk about today. And so, once you join, you share. That's what's most important. All right. Uh, thank you. Let me see where you're watching from. All right, all of you watching from Germany. Can I know where you're watching from? Germany, Berlin. Those of you watching from Norway. Uh, yep, those watching from the United States, from Granzo. So let's have everybody on board. So like I said, I should be able to start talking right now. Those who will be joining later on, they're definitely going to join the show. And it's very, very imperative that a couple of things be addressed at this juncture. I know a lot of people will definitely come to watch later on. So if you just still joining, I mean, your first responsibility is to share, since it's a pretty new platform. So we hope to see how this works. All right. Okay. So all of us, all of us must know exactly, you know. Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. So this is very simple. I'm just going to go straight to the point. I think we are good to go with the number of people watching already. Very impressive for a very new page. I would I would say something that will culminate into it will go through the rest of my show. And this is what I want to say. I want to say that what I've noticed as a young black man, I want to use I want to be specific about my race. As a young black man doing business, whether when I was in Africa or here in America, my greatest competitors and rivalry, why I've been doing business, my greatest competitor and rivalry is not being those who are in the same line of business with me, but it's been those who've been praying that you don't succeed. Look everywhere around. When you're a black man, those who constitute the core of the competition of your business, they are not even those who do the same business with you. They are those who don't just want you to succeed. And this is the crux of the Amba revolution. Today I will talk about what I call Ambazonian Grifters, and I'll talk about La Republic Hoarders. And all of these two categories of people are very fundamental for Ambazonians to define a pathway to their success. It's been like 3 or more months, a quarter of a year, I've not been on social media intentionally, and to an extent also influenced by the fact that my main business page was taken down, like most of you are aware. And so I thought it was wise for me to come on and address my people, our people, because it is very imperative for people to understand one thing. I will talk today on a wide range of things, including the situation on WhatsApp groups and Facebook and how Ambazonians conduct themselves. I'll talk about DAC and some DAC members. I'll talk about Anna. I'll talk about Dr. Cho's interaction with Nnamdi Kanu. I'll talk about General No Pity, essentially. I'll talk about him today. I'll talk about maybe Karim and a couple of other things. And above all, I'll talk about myself. What's important for us to understand, let's go straight to the point. Those who are coming later on can watch from the beginning. You see, Ambazonia was not carved for particular persons. Ambazonia, all of us, including those of you watching me, didn't know that at this time we'll be fighting a war against Cameroon. And therefore, it was not something anybody prepared for. And it's very important and imperative for people to understand the dynamics and the sacrifices that those who have been speaking on social media have made over time. Those who have created the real gap for La Republic du Cameroon to catch up. Those who put the Amba revolution on the wheel. There are heroes and there are heroes. And so it's very imperative for us to compare notes and get to those points where Ambazonians will understand that this war is still to be fought. And one thing that will define the victory for Ambazonian is capitalization. I will tell you, my people, and very sincerely, my understanding of the war is pretty much different from what I've seen a lot of people demonstrate on social media. Our constructive minds, our criticisms, and our ability to hold leaders accountable, those are the things that will build the human capitalization that we need for the eventual takeoff and capital flight for Ambazonia as a country and as a people. And I want to tell you one thing. What strengthens a country is not the country, it's the people. And what strengthens people is ideology, principles. Those are the things that will strengthen you. Your strength depends on your ideology and your principles. It's not dependent upon what you're saying on social media and how you're trying to create conspiracies. No. I want to let you know one thing. Obviously, there will be victory for Ambazonia, but how quick can we get this victory? Those are some of the things I'll be talking today. And I'll also redirect people to the issues of DAC and some things that I see people write on social media about me that I'm not even concerned. But when you become a leader of a movement and you're a frontline activist where people look up to you for information, directives, people look up to you as a role model, you must be ready to take the bullets, and those are the things that must define you. And that's what has defined my strength. Almost all my pages have been deleted from social media, including my main business page that had thousands of followers. But that is not my concern. My concern today is to discuss about those things that will take Ambazonian forward, take Ambazonians forward as well, not just Ambazonian, and those things that will improve the minds of the Ambazonian youth that I see on WhatsApp groups that have become so frustrated. Those people on WhatsApp group, because to be honest, if you were to calculate human capitalization at this time in the world, from what I've seen and the way Ambazonians conduct themselves, Ambazonian youths would be the poorest in terms of mentality and human capitalization. I will explain. What I've noticed about our Ambazonian brothers is that once they get up, like somebody is writing, please, when you join, you share extensively to all the groups, WhatsApp groups, just share to join. What I've noticed, and I'm going to say this, about our Ambazonian brothers is that when they get up in the morning, the first thing they do, they check out if X, Y, or Z has fallen. For example, most of them, they focus on Eric Tato, if something bad has happened to Eric Tato. When they get up in the afternoon from their WhatsApp queries, the next thing they are praying is that Eric Tato should stumble and fall. In the evening before they go to bed, they pray for Eric Tato to fall. Some of them, not all. And they have done this for the past 3 months, 4 months, 1 year plus, and they're still trying to do it. But one thing they have not asked themselves is that while we are praying for this young man to fall, what is his own prayer? First question. Number 2 question is, while we concentrate on praying on this young man to fall, what is the prayer for my own self? You who is praying against me. What is your own prayer? For 4 months, 3 months, 1 year, you have assembled your missiles, praying against one man who only focuses on his progress and empowering his people. God knows I've never gotten up from my bed and I check if somebody is dead. That's an Ambazonian. And I pray for somebody to fall. No, I don't do that. Because it is not my focus. My focus is my personal empowerment. Because as a human being, if I am not empowered, Ambazonia will not be empowered. Ambazonia will be wired and empowered by its citizens who are sound upstairs, who are sound in the pocket, not those who are corrupt like the Cameroon government or those who have made themselves grifters trying to crave arts to steal from the people. Our country is perpetually poor when its citizens lack the mentality and the ability to reason in the direction of prosperous people. And that is where I see Ambazonia going to. Most of us stay on social media, on WhatsApp groups, and what do? You query from your 18 hours on WhatsApp, you query, you go back to sleep, you get up, you're looking for conspiracies to share. But let me share with you what I've been doing, why I've not been on social media, which is very important. And I will explain to you one thing that is specific about growth. It's very important. Because if Ambazonians are not educated to harness their qualities, then we'll remain in the same spot. Let me be honest with you. To be honest, the last how many months, I've not had the time to go on social media and check anything. In fact, I have made sure I have not followed the lousy Ambazonian guys by 99.9999%. And this is the reason. Because if you are a young man like me that thinks of how to increase his capitalization, you will not have time about some of those things on social media. When I joined Ambazonian Talking on Facebook, I was 32. June 14th, in a few weeks or days, I will be 36. So I've been talking about this struggle for 4 years, and I'm going all in it. On June 14th, I'll be 36. And in 4 years, I'll be 40. I've been talking about this struggle. Okay, some of you just knew me on social media, on Facebook, when I started talking about Amba. You know nothing about me. You don't know about the best color of my pants. You don't know my best parts. You don't know my best music, my genre of music. You don't know my best food. You don't know what I like, what makes me laugh. You don't know what part of fun I like. You don't know why I like to go on vacation. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about my bank account. You don't know my business, my capitalization. You just know some Eric Tato guy was talking on Facebook. And did that give you the effrontery that today, when you see my investments, you start making noise? To be honest, I was so rich to even have been involved in Amba. But I got involved because of the ideology. That is why, throughout my period as an Ambazonian fighter, warrior until now, I have remained the vanguard protecting people from stealing from you. That is what you don't know. Most of you don't know me, but those who know me from way back, from Mount Fair and the rest of the places, they will tell you, don't joke with him. I'm a workaholic. And when today I see some people want to think that Eric Tato wants to come back somewhere into the Amba revolution, what is there to come back into? It's not somebody's house. You do what you do, and your own strategy, at your own time. Everything is changing. You see me on social media, you know nothing about me, and I sacrifice my life, my time, my family, my business, talking on behalf of a cause. And then because I condemn those who steal money, your prayers day and night for me has been that I should die. That's fine, live forever. It's important for me to really explain these things. I even see some people talking about dark, which of course I created, I formed. But the good news is, I think, listen, quote me, I think DAC is doing well because I'm not a member of DAC. I recuse myself from anything that concerns Amba finances. I have never been involved in anything that is Ambazonia when it comes to money, and all of you know that. So those who write jargon on Facebook, you can go to the DAC website, you see what DAC has there. Those who want to request reimburse or refund, go there. I am not in charge, I'm just a floor member. I'll talk more about that. So people don't know you. All they do is that they try to bring conspiracies. Let me explain something which is very important. For those who care to know about Eric Tato, listen very attentively. I'm a businessman, born businessman. I love business like crazy. And one thing I'm focused on is increasing my capitalization legally. To be honest, for the rest of this revolution, you will not see me come online anymore to reply to somebody who calls my name on something. I have a communication team, and I'm building that. Let me take you down something very important. You see Facebook that we are all talking on? Facebook, of course, you know the founder, Mark Zuckerberg. He's 38 years. When he started Facebook, they have the Facebook house in California called Casa de la Facebook. Their first rent was about $5,000. And Facebook is an incorporation. You know Google? Google, that all of you search stuff on Google. Google is an LLC. Amazon is an Inc. All these are American businesses that were created for less than $200. Today, these people have increased their capitalization to be the richest people in the world. But according to an Ambazonian, every tattoo, because you think you know me, talk on Facebook, and I have an LLC in National Telegraph, and now an Inc. in Dimples, you think I will not aspire to be like Zuckerberg? No, that's what you're mistaken. Let me let you know one thing, and it's exactly what I've come to tell today to those who consider themselves my enemy. To be honest, if you control the kind of capital I control and run the kind of business I do right now, there is no way you can have time to reply to people who don't have jobs in the diaspora. People whose own jobs, they have been paid on Facebook to sabotage order and defend people who steal money. You will not have time for all these things. Take for example, I have built Dimples. It's an Inc. If you go to the US business website, Maryland Business Search, you see Dimples Incorporated. I'm the resident agent. That is my business. If you look at my phone, I'll show you briefly before I continue this discussion. You can see the app. Dimples is right there. Though we have not put it on the Play Store because we are still testing a lot of facilities. So you see most of my things I post on Dimples. This is Dimples. It's same like Facebook. You can browse. Nobody has it. I have few people who are testing it. So you can play music. So with my vision and what I've built as a young man, this is something that has a combination of Facebook and WhatsApp and Twitter. So you don't expect me anymore to come on Facebook and be talking or replying to people who are just creating accounts on something that Mark Zuckerberg has built that is same like what I'm building. I'm not going to do that. And for the past 4 or 5 years when I was in America, I joined the struggle, remained very humble, and did my investments quietly on the ground. That is why in every place you go to, everywhere you went to before, I was the main donor when it comes to activists. That's because I had the money. I want to tell my enemies today. So it's not, when I hear some people say, oh, he was talking about economy because La Republic paid him to talk about him. When I stayed quiet, they say, oh, like we are paying him to stay quiet. So like we pay somebody to talk about somebody and still pay somebody to stay quiet about and still pays the same person to stay quiet? Those are the questions. So when you run a structure, a multi-million-dollar company like Dimples, now we have the Dimples social media that is still being tested. That will be launched maybe in a couple of months. I don't know, until my technicians will tell me, okay. Right now, my company, I have secured a license to run a rental company in the US, just like Enterprise. And we're starting with 15 cars. When you look at the capitalization, some people say, oh, he's proud. Yes, exactly how I've come to make some of you to feel today. So, when you look at the capitalization, there's no way I can leave my business. And I come and I'm talking about replying to people who are trying to talk about me on Facebook. I trade on Coinbase, on Robinhood, on Viagra, and of course on Crypto.com and other Coinbase platforms. When I buy my Bitcoin and I buy other coins, Ethereum Classic, and all those coins, what am I doing? I get up and monitoring them to make sure I don't lose money. I cannot come and monitor your comment on Facebook. There is no way. I cannot spend 1 second of my time coming to reply to people who are praying that I should die. I only have one reply for them. Let them live forever. There is no way you think that everybody is going to love you. So all of us should know it is very, very, very important for everybody who is watching this show today to know one thing. I came to make it very clear. Ambazonians should know one thing. Take for example, I will talk about General Norpiti before I come to other things. General Norpiti did a great job today. All of you saw that. And what happened? You saw many of these people in the diaspora already ran to claim the credit. Some say it was drug money. Some say it was the egg of sea, and so on and so forth. But it was none of them. Do you know why General No Pity is very effective? Because he's not affiliated to any of these groups in the diaspora. He's not affiliated. So instead for people to come together, see how they can help General No Pity, some people are preaching for Portugal contribute to draft or to their groups. I want to still repeat it today. The highest scam that has ever and ever happened in Ambazonia after my trip to Boya is the draft. All these guys who call themselves leaders, they have been in America. I've been in America for 6 years counting. They have been, all of them came before me, all of them. The diaspora. So they've been here for a long time. And why can they not bring out of their personal accounts $10,000, $25,000 for us to use and fight this war? Instead of them coming for some mother who leaves McDonald's to come and give them $50. So I'm still saying here that you have the right to contribute wherever you want. But I want to repeat here that the greatest scam that is still ongoing, I watched, is that draft stuff. I will say it today till tomorrow. I have nothing against anybody. And let me just amplify why I say so. Look at somebody like Abdul Karim, who is on the ground in Bamenda. Great job for him. Karim is in Bamenda and he supports draft. And he goes on Facebook Live and says that people should contribute to draft. And then Karim, nobody does nothing to Karim in Bamenda. And you think that it's genuine? Some will say, oh, he's been protected by the Swiss embassy and foreign missions. No. In any country, you don't have any protection from any embassy once you are not inside that embassy, because any country and all countries have their domestic laws. If I'm saying something that, oh, contribute money, let them go and do this to US soldiers in this America, I'll be arrested this minute. You cannot say it. But you can be elsewhere in UK and you say that, and UK can protect you. So you cannot find somebody in Bamenda who is preaching against the Cameroon government and they leave him strolling around because he has a mission. Because he has a mission. Anything, I will tell you put today. And I'm saying it repeatedly that those of you who are of the calm that you know, that you always pray for me to fall, which of course I will never fall. Please avoid me. 4 months, I'm not talking about you. I hear some of you are praying that I should die. For those of you who send me wishes, I was actually sick. I had a throat infection. They scanned me and said I was going to have an upset on my throat. I needed antibiotics and stuff like that. So when you saw the picture, of course, the picture was real. And it took 30 minutes or less for the doctors to stabilize me because I know all your prayers worked. You see, my first son is like 13 years. And my last child, my daughter, is 2.5. She'll be 3 soon. And there's one thing you should know. When you pray otherwise for somebody, the person also has a family. You think it is normal for God to allow a man with a 3-year-old to just die like that for no reason? No. The only reason why God keeps me alive is because I was born and designed to liberate the Ambazonian people. That is my role. There's no way you can take it away from me. I am the Moses of this revolution. The day I die, this revolution dies with me. So I'm going to live and take these people out of Egypt. So all of you who call yourself Ambazonians that have joined La République as Egyptians, I am going to liberate Ambazonian from you. Either by my idea, by my capitalization, by something. But I am the chosen one. I'll say this repeatedly. Some of you pray, and I read somewhere when somebody sent me something that, oh, Eric Tato must apologize to Sako. If not, he's not going to recover. No, it's impossible. I will never apologize to thieves. Listen very attentively to me. If truly I've ever said anything wrong about Sako and you proclaim he's a man of God, by now I would have died from your prayers. But the fact that I still live and I'm stronger than you have ever known is because everything I've said is within context and is the truth. There is never going to be a day where God will kill a policeman for arresting a thief. God can allow a thief to escape to give the thief another chance, but not to injure the policeman. I am the police of this revolution. That is why I'm taking this opportunity to say, those who call my name with that, I've never taken $1 from that. I'm not earning in the back end. I'm not a treasurer. I don't know nothing about money. I'm just a floor member, like any other member. So, that has their money there. If you think that they have not done their project, go back and request your refund. It's your card, it's your bank card. Go and cancel it. It didn't come to my account. I don't know nothing about it because, listen, let me tell you something. Ambazonians, how much do they contribute in Amba? I have cars here that your contribution in the whole of that will not be able to buy a tire in the car. But that is the truth, whether or not you like it. So if somebody sacrifices himself for a struggle, accept it and stop conspiracies. That is why today I want to repeat and I want to reiterate. Do not do any contributions through me. But call me if you want to do contributions somewhere. Let me be aware so that I'll police that person. That's what we can do. So we must all understand at this time, and I want to repeat it. All those of you who pray that I should die, like I heard, I pray for you to live forever. Never die. Live forever. While you live forever, put one thing in your mind. I will never, ever support a thief. I've said it, I'll repeat it. I didn't want to talk about it ever. Stay off my track. Concentrate on your path. I'll repeat it that Sako Ikome stole my trip to Boya. He remains a thief. He will forever remain one. You cannot change it. He's a grifter. That's why every day he brings in one manipulation after the other. Take for example, when Anu goes to talk to Voice of America, have you ever seen Ayabacho, any other leader, Sisiku and Co? Have you seen them saying that no, Anu was not supposed to go and say this? No. Everybody who's an ambassador should be independent to say something that promotes the struggle. But when other people give leaders interviews, why is it that the Sako camp goes crazy and starts conspiracy? Money you poor don't have. The only thing you poor know is conspiracy. So I'm telling you poor today that bear in mind, I owe no thief an apology. Police don't apologize to thieves. Sako stole my trip to Boya, and if I've left you people that let's open a new chapter, don't cross my path no more. I'm one man, you cannot cross his path. 99% of the actions on the ground, is it from draft? No. Take for example, General No Pity. Those people that you control grab and get to, like the Field Marshal, Lebiaram and the rest, what are they doing? Boys are being helped by their brothers in the diaspora to defend themselves, and once they do that, because these people cannot come on social media, you people will run and you go immediately and go and claim responsibility. I read somewhere some people say, oh, Eric Tato was surely faking his sickness because he wanted to come back to talk about Amba. What is there? What is my profit? To talk about what? I want to ask you, what is the gain? You know what I'm losing out talking here? You know that I can be like this and miss a trade on one of my platforms, and I want to look, maybe I've lost like 10,000 or something dollars. Listen, Amba is an ideology. It is not something that is a job. It's not a job. It's an ideology. You talk it when you feel inspired, and you support when you can support. Look at all those who call themselves leaders. Where are their jobs? What were they doing before now? What have they created? They have seen Ambassador as an opportunity to remain there and cause confusion. Look at General No Pity. Why is he effective? Because he's not paying allegiance to anybody. So you cannot have Tom, Dicks, and Harrys on Facebook and you expect me to come and reply them. No, to be honest, if you run my kind of business, my kind of capitalization, you count my kind of money, you will not go reply to some chicken person who call themselves activists on Facebook. There's no time. You will not see me do that, no matter what. It will not happen. I have a lot of things to do. I have a Dimple social media platform to work on. I have a car rental business to run. I have a food business. I have a whole lot of things to do. So Ambazonia is something that we took as an ideology. It wasn't some job. Nobody's paying nobody for doing this. And so don't sit somewhere and say that, oh, he wants to come back. Come back into what? All of you, do you know how I pay my rent? For the past 4 years I've been talking in this revolution. You know what I do? You don't know nothing about me. You don't know the kind of food I eat. You don't know where I love going for vacation. You don't know nothing. And so don't tell me that I want to come back. Come back into what? What did I leave that I'm coming back into? Your father's house, your property, the gate of heaven that you shut down, or you're some demigod who is creating rain, and so rain will not fall in my part of my house or my village or something. Listen, let me tell you one thing, fellow Amazonians. We have a lot of good people who are Amazonians, kind people who listen the land. Instead of some of you to ask me that, Eric Tato, how did you do to create a rental company? How did you do to grow your capital? You're creating conspiracy. Oh, maybe in La Republic. La Republic can never bribe me. Can never. Ask those who know. They will tell you. I was a stinkingly rich young man before I ever came to America. Ask in Mountain, they will tell you. And that's what I've come to remind you people today. My capitalization is so huge that I can do anything. I have 15 cars I bought. I hear some people are making us, where did he get money? Next month, I'm going to buy 30 more. You keep seeing them grow. And I'll post them on social media, and I know some of you will be so mad because you don't like to see success. How is it possible that the only thing you think about is that somebody should fail? You don't think about how you have to succeed. In 4 months, you're praying for me to fail. In 4 months, I'm capitalizing on my plans and moving my vision forward. And you stay in the same place. And tomorrow when you see me and move on, you say, oh, what happened? Every day again, yeah, you're going to see. I'm going to buy the best cars in the United States. Because I'm here, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg is not different from me. The guys who have Apple, Amazon, and so on and so forth, Bubble, all the CEOs are not different. They created their business the same way. Do you know that 10 of us with a capitalization of $2 million, we can open a beautiful hotel in DMV, in the DMV area? We can do that. But Ambazonians, are you both thinking towards that direction? No. What you are thinking is how to pray for a young man to fail. Do you know that I was born by a woman? You know my mother prays for me, my children, my wife, my friends, family members, those I've done good to. You know they pray for me as well. And so you have to go back to the drawing board and ask yourselves, those of you who pray that I should die and I'm stronger, ask yourself that, but what kind of God are we saving? That this man we have been praying, God is answering our prayers. It means that his God is stronger. Because I saved Jehovah, the one who sent me to come and save Amba. I'm the Moses. Without me, there is no Ambazonian revolution. Write that down. Put in your head. If I die today, you have to beg me, pray for me to live. If I die, the revolution is finished. Write it down so that I want to come out to tell you. Anybody, if it gets you angry, that is what I am telling you today. If I'm not, there is no Amba. Trust me. So you're supposed to protect me. You get the point? Not pray the contrary. You think this war will be won tomorrow? No. We still have to fight. And the only thing that will win the war is capitalization. We have to think on how to invest, how to change the game, make it sophisticated. Not go and claim any little thing. Let me first of all tell you something. When you are fighting a war, number one, you don't claim anything that has to do with IEDs. Say there's an improvised explosive device. Don't go and say Ambazonian fighters did it. It's wrong. Don't claim it. Let it be. Don't make no statement on it. Even say it's the military who did it. Why are you doing that? You know, when you see the US says that they are doing this to counter this and that, every country, because IED is something that the world is discouraging. Anywhere, mines. It's illegal in the international scene. So, whosoever is doing that, it is not the place for Ambazonians to come and be claiming, because you want to work. Our war is genuine. And so we want to work according to international norms so that we'll gain sympathy and lobby. You know, we'll get lobbyists who assist us to do good things that will prepare us to a better path of victory. So don't give the Republic any credit. Like what General Nopiti did is a great job. It's an ambush. It's war. But don't go and say, oh, we put bombs here, we put this, we put here. You're not supposed to say that. Amba, you don't bring yourself to that level. You get the point? Don't bring it to that level. So all of these things are important. Like I've said, Abdul Karim cannot be in Bamenda and he's supporting draft and you think there's anything in draft. No. Anything that is good and that wins this war is not in Bamenda physically. It is somewhere in the bushes hiding in the diaspora. So all those fake stuff, we should have them stopped. I've also preached Operation 25K per an Ambazonian leader. So all Ambazonian leaders should come. Let me tell you something. I think that the problem is not even these guys who call themselves leader. The problem is some of you who call yourselves, some of you say you are doctors. We have a lot of them there in California, as I hear. You say you are doctors, you are that, you're this, you're so on, you're so forth. You know, and you support people who are armed robbers. People, you're supposed to support somebody and ask them, oh, what were you? What is your background? You know what they call, you know why the white man asks for a CV for a job? Because it's important to know. You know why America is going ahead, prospering? Because they do background checks. You cannot have a mole on top of granite and you think that you want to plant the granite the next season. No. You people have consolidated thieves to positions that the revolution is on the brink of collapse. That is why this Moses will always be back. So don't ever think that I'm not looking for any way to come in anywhere because there is nothing. Amba is destined for victory. And I'm the designated Moses. That is why there is no way you can stop me. After this, we'll concentrate to do business, get things working and stuff like that. When I'm creating my business like the car renter, I'm not looking at which Ambazonian will come and hire my car. Because some of them prefer to go and hire a boss than to come and hire a car from Eric Tato. But then, you create a business with a market power of 331 million people in America. In the Maryland area, how many million people are there? Thousands. So you don't even know who's going to come and rent from you. You get the point? So your idea, Ambazonians are supposed to think in a way that gives them the capacity to change the game. And so please, don't tell me that I'm no longer talking on social media because some people want me or because somebody paid me, because all those conspiracies, no. You cannot win me because I was first of all in no race with you. The only thing I did, I said it clearly that these people stole money and you people saw it, you people tried to defend it, but you have never been able to defend it because that's what still pours in your mind today. When you get up, you pray that I should die. It's a normal thing. That is part of the ecosystem. You pray I should die, others pray that I should not die. Others are indifferent. They don't care whether I live or I die. That's part of the ecosystem. It's very important. And I'm happy for those of you who pray that I should die. And I'm praying back that please live forever. Let God guide you, protect you, so that you'll be able to see my 100th birthday when I'll probably have been declared the richest man in the world or in Africa. To be honest, my focus is to become the Mark Zuckerberg of Africa. Is to become the richest black man living in Maryland. Become the richest African in America. It's not some childish talk on WhatsApp groups and on Facebook. That's not my business. You get the point? I have my money on crypto.com. I have my money on Robinhood. I have my money on all these platforms. When I get up in the morning, the first thing, I check my Dimples platform, see what development has gone on. Check all my crypto base and see where I'm making gain, what currency I can sell. If something has fallen below limit, I can buy. I come on. Because if you spend 5 minutes on Facebook, to be honest, you're going to lose a lot of money. If I did not join Amba by now, my money would have been in billions. You imagine young guys who bought Bitcoin when it was just $1. Imagine where they are today. Because I dedicated myself, get myself to Amba. All of you, some of you came here, you are making noise, you are running your mouth up and down. You know my capitalization? You know how much I was worth before I joined Amba? Did you ever ask yourself why I use my personal money to go to places? Because I was loaded. I remain loaded. You can't take my money. You can't go to my bank account. You can't change all those things. I buy any car I want. I was doing all those things on the background staying. I was not putting on social media because I thought that no, it's a war. Let's promote our post. Should not feel like, oh, maybe this man has his money after all. Why is he even talking about Amba? I did what they call mainstreaming. Now you are seeing them. It's not like the things were not there. And somebody stays somewhere there. I heard somebody say he sent my fleet of cars and say, oh, who's every time to get the money for buying motor? I got it from your mother's kitchen. Yeah. Because this is the idea. Too lazy people. Some of you Ambazonian youth, you are too lazy. You go, your calculation is that somebody should not be rich. The fact that I'm Amba like you does not make me to remain the same financial level with you. No, I was not born to be poor. I was born into a peasant family. My father sold kanda or hide. My mother sold gateau, gave me cocoa and sent me to school. I went to school. Some of you have not understood something. My job is very corporate. I'm a journalist, a media personality like Don Lemon, like Larry King, like Oprah Winfrey. It's because you think that I'm Amba, you think I cannot also define my own niche? No, don't put me in that categorization. It's not going to work. There's no way you're going to... Listen, let me tell you, to be honest, if you trade and you control my kind of capitalization, I sacrificed a lot for Ambazonia for 4 years. And I've come to tell you, Paul, that this is the time for you to put your head up. Instead of you making noise, I have created the Dimples Business Consultancy, which will go operational on the 13th of June. That's my wife's birthday. I'm launching everything on that day, probably. So instead of you making noise, come to my business school, come and learn how to make the capital. I'll teach you how to get cash flow. I'll teach you how to keep capital. I'll show you how to buy all these things. I have a lot of cars back in my yard. Someday I'm going to die and my children will be happy, celebrate me. So there is no way you come and you're making noise. Listen, I know you know. Let me tell you one thing. Enemies don't like when you talk about your success. They will define it as pride. No. But people who are my followers, they call this confidence. I'm teaching you how to be confident. Listen, to be honest, there are a lot of Ambazonians who are 10 billion times richer than me. But all these Grifters who make noise on social media, there is no match from their leaders that they support. There is no way. Because to be honest, even those of you making noise that you can be for drive, you pledge. To be honest, let me tell you something. On the day of the launching of the Dimples car rental, you will see the quality of cars. Then you will understand what I call capitalization. It's not a joke. So you didn't know me. You think because I was talking on behalf of Amba, I should be a poor man? Did you know me from anywhere? You know my third name, my fourth name. You know the favorite name my father used to call me. You know my favorite food. You know my best food. You know how I like to eat my food. You know if I like my food standing. You know where I like to travel to go for vacation. You know what I like. You don't know nothing about me. And so you just assume. And so you say, oh no, because he's talking Amba, I shouldn't. That is why no Ambazonia, I do not accept gift from any Ambazonia. Even the people in the dark, they will tell you. That's why I'm telling you openly today. I am not any executive in dark. I don't know anything about that money. If the dark money is there, the poor are there, but the Alem and the rest that put control. So if you think that you need your money, go to them. Request and it will go back to your card. I have like 5 bank accounts. Nothing is linked to anything Amba. That is my money. And you can't take it back from me. And that's why when people come and they are making noise, say, oh, every time maybe La Republic did this and so on. Which particular activist is there that has stood the test of time other than Eric Tato? Who has created a legacy? Till today they still refer to Gary issue. When has Eric Tato ever told any Ambazonian to drop his weapon? I've come here and encouraging people to contribute to no pity, because that is a person that is at this moment making sure that he generates the hit for La Republic. Not armed robbers that have stayed in the diaspora, no job. They did not know that a revolution will come. They have hijacked the revolution and they are using it to feed themselves and their children. And you are so dull, you are contributing. You think at my age, I'm 36 in a few days, I'll be 40 in 4 years, and I'm creating a capitalization for myself to... What are you going to put in Ambazonia after independence? How do you want to build Ambazonia? To be a country of thieves? That's what you want to build? No, let's be honest. Some of you, let's be honest. Because some of you have missed it all. I hear they kidnapped Father in Boca, Christopher in Boca. Look at the kind of things we do. That man should be released immediately before the end of this show. You cannot keep a priest. So these are the things that make some people think otherwise. But then those who have remained perpetual in the stealing of public funds cannot be compromised with. Take for example, Cameroon ministers have stolen money for COVID-19. They are even way better than Ambazonian leaders who stole money on my trip to Boya. I want to still repeat it today. If Sako thinks he didn't steal, which of course he did, by now would have been a dead person because of your prayers. Let it simple, right? you have filed taxes for IRS. Just open the accounts for Ambazonian people, bring external auditors, somebody from Jamaica, Sierra Leone, Ghanaian, or some American who does not even know anything about Amba. Let them come, they will know who stole money, because when you take $1 from an account, the cat is there. We will know. External auditors, they are doing a report to give to Ambazonian people, not to give to any federal government. Because you have already filed a tax for that particular Machupiboya fund. So when Eric Tato talks about this issue of corruption, some of you take him as an enemy. Do I even know if you are my enemy? Do I even know you? Most of you out there, you know me, I don't know you. But I try my best to respect everybody. So everybody who is an Ambazonian has the potential to be rich. But everybody who is an Ambazonian whose only potential is to pray for, listen, the worst prayer that you can pray is for Eric Tato to fall. That's your worst prayer, because the reverse situation, it goes back to you times 10, because I'm anointed. If you pray, you see, when you pray that I should be healed, you are healed 10 times. When you pray that I should fall, you fall 10 times. Because you spend all your life, you are praying for me to fall. I've spent all my time drawing my plans. The past 4, 5, 6 months, I've been hustling to get a license for the renter, get a renter insurance, which I've had, and we'll kick it up running. Let me calculate something to you. Let me tell Ambazonians something, because I'll take the opportunity to tell you something. Take, for example, we're going to launch the Dimples car renter and sales on the 13th. We also have party renters and stuff like that. Because with the party renters, we have some party stuffs. But I want to bring a collage where anybody who is in Maryland, or people who know me and who have renter tools, some of you keep renter things in your houses, there are a lot of people looking for renter stuff. I'm going to create a market for all of you, plus my own. So people can come and rent my chairs. If I'm short of chairs, I give you the link, they rent through you, you pay a commission to our platform. I'm creating that. For the cars, you're also going to create your franchise. But now we're starting with 15 cars, good cars, Ford Mustang, Tahoe, beautiful cars. Let me run a figure for you to understand where I'm going to. My estimation, my financial team estimated that every day, if we rent our cars averagely, because they are big cars, for just $70 a day. For example, because those that are $100 plus, they're going to cover for those that are 40, because we have cars that will rent for less than even $40 a day. Once we have this, let me say $70, 10 cars will be able to give us, like, for one day, with 10 cars will give us, like, maybe let's just say 700 divided by 2. You're going to be having over $1,100 or thereabout. Let me just say $1,000 a day for your renter for 15 cars. So in 30 days, you make 30,000. That is the minimum you will make. So what I'm thinking is that if I have a branch that makes me $30,000 a day, a month, I want to have 10 of those branches so that I'll be making, what, $300,000 a month. You get the point? So that is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking on how to increase capitalization, thinking on how those who are coming to work with me should be empowered, those who want to buy franchise anywhere in the US and Canada. So I'm not thinking about some petty talk that some petty people are talking on social media. There is no time, because I've created a social media like Facebook, although it's not functional yet. So I cannot go and reduce myself to talking to people who have just mere accounts. I'm a CEO of a social media platform, multimedia. So we have Dimples News to run. We have National Telegram News to run, Dimples Food, Dimples Consultancy, we have Dimples Rental, we have Dimples Delivery. It's a chain, it's an ink, and I'm launching the branches bit by bit. We have a 1-800 number, we have everything that we'll put in place. And so there is no way Ambazonians would think that I waste my time. I wasted 4 years talking to thieves. And now there is no more time to even bother about them. Those who want to continue stealing should continue stealing. Those who want to concentrate on liberating the people should join the Moses. I have to fight further because I have people in jail that needs to be liberated. I have refugees that need to go back home. IDPs, those who have died, they are looking up to us. All of you down there. It is not these armed robbers, some of these armed robbers in the diaspora who are creating groups. Look at them. Every day they are creating new groups and trying to put treasuries because that is where they think they are going to be feeding. Have you seen Eric Tato? I created that. I did not participate in anything that concerns money. The people in the Anna group, they know. Those who want to fund particular projects, they did that. That's why I asked more that people should bring back stuff. People brought old stuff here from mix, and I had some roaches in my house. I had to treat it for my own pocket and stuff like that. But I still took the patience to send some of those things down. What is going on? You get the point? So all of us should understand one thing. You see this young man? My vision is so strong. My skin is so thick. My focus is so focused. You can't take it away from me. You can't beat me. Never. It's never going to happen. Because number one, I'm so pure. So pure. Extremely pure. There is nobody in Ambazonia that can come and say, I've given every my $1 and he's done this, he's done that. Anybody who says it's a conspiracy. Even when I started talking, I was not even involved with my trip to Boya. Even before I got popular, my trip to Boya, I was done. I was only talking about county by county. Soon people started generating conspiracy, how they gave me my trip to Boya. Was I a treasurer? Why were you sending money to me? Everybody knows. I come on my live show and say, if you have ever given money, even the proof of the dark, if anybody has given me $1 for that, come and tell me. Come and tell me if you have ever. There is nobody. 1 minute, excuse me, please. I have to really take this. Hello? Sorry about that. So, there is nobody. There is nobody. That's why I'm saying that for dark. I see a lot of people writing stuff about dark and all of this. I'm not in charge. I don't know nothing. If you want, go back to the website and request a refund. It's none of my business. No money in Amba comes to my coffers. I don't know nothing. And from today, please listen very attentively. Listen very attentively. Don't contribute to Eric Tato like you have never done it. Don't ever do it. I will never request it. Listen, I have just enough for me and my business. That's why when Amba was hot, people were doing this. Say, oh, Eric Tato, take money, do this. No, I said no. If it's county, contribute to the county heads. Because I know that a time will come like this where I can come and talk and hit my chest. So all of us must stay focused. And I will repeat that thieves will never have my support. Sako stole my trip to Boya. I talked about it and I left it. And some of his surrogates, they still want to make noise on social media. That is their business. We are done and done with that. All of us, we are done and done with that. And let me just say something about Anna. We are not going to discuss our military on social media. 99.99% of the work taking place on the ground, people don't know what happened. They just claim victory on social media. Take, for example, what happened today with General No Pity. The ADF was the first to claim victory. The Sakokan came and claimed victory. They don't even know who did it before General No Pity came, and all of them started retracting. That is what they have done. Until somebody comes up, most of them don't know what happens. And there is no way I can be operating the kind of business I'm operating here. You want me to come on social media and be telling you about, I did this on the ground, I didn't do this. That time has passed. Now I am more exposed to the business world. I'm meeting white colleagues. I'm meeting people. I'm trying to shape my capitalization. And there is no way I can come on social media to start telling you about Anna did this, Anna did not do that. I don't care about your conspiracy. It's never going to happen. I have a media team. Don't ever expect me to come and claim any responsibility about anything in Amba. It's never going to happen. Those who do that are those who are begging for money. If I have money to put in the fight, I know how to pass. I have salaries, I have a lot of people. So don't tell me about things that you think they are going to set me up. I have a business here. If the US government shuts my business, you are not going to help me. It has shown very clearly. If you can pray for me to die, what about my business? So you don't care if my business is shut down. So don't think that the government is watching me. You think to give me a rental license and a rental insurance, you think it's a joke? And all the things I'm doing here, it takes time. I have things that before I want to go to the bank and do and stuff like that, I have few forms to ask me about questions that when I come and say things on social media, they jeopardize me. So it's not going to happen. That time has passed. Now it's a more focus-oriented editor towards increasing and enlarging capitalization. That will help all of you because the Moses is going to definitely break Ambazonia for everybody. So don't come on social media and expect that I'll come and be telling you that this one is fighting here, and one has this one owns this. No, it's never ever going to happen. All right? 99.99% of the time and the things that happen on the ground, some of you don't even know what happened. Just come and claim responsibility. General No Pity has proven that today. Everybody has seen what I was telling people. That all of these guys in the diaspora, they are thieves. You want to come and claim credit for something you know nothing. Because your only focus is to fool the people, take more money from them. Every time your own focus is money. You want to steal from the people, steal from the people. You steal from your own Ambazonian people more than the Cameroon government does. That's what you do. You don't even have the righteousness, the moral rectitude to talk about ministers who steal COVID-19 funds. Because you are bigger thieves, chronic thieves, manipulators and conspiracy theories. So that should be very clear. So forget it. Don't expect me. I have nothing to claim on social media. There is nothing I'm going to talk about. The war is out of Facebook. It's out of WhatsApp. Why the white man did not create WhatsApp for the purpose some of you Ambazonians are using. You share fake stories about people. All of those things you write, things that don't exist about people. How do you go say things that don't exist and you expect to ever gain any respect? So take it from me. There is no time for that. I've told you people, instead of making noise, come to my business school. Dimple's Business Consultancy will be launched on the 13th of June. You can take the classes anywhere in the world. It's very cheap and almost free, let me put it that way. Yeah, from what you're going to learn. So enroll and I'll teach you how to make capital. Listen, let me give you one tip. Some of you think that until you create a business, you start selling something before you start saving money in that business. But no, I can teach you to make a whole lot of capital that before 2 years when your business is mature for bank loan consideration, you're already something. Because if you think that you must create business, create a product before you start creating a business account, you're never going to succeed. So all of those things, I have them in my palms. That's the truth. So let us be very clear. I came today to make it very clear. I know, some people will say this and that. That's exactly what I want them to say. So please, let's stay focused. For all of you who wrote to me while I was sick, I saw your messages. I was on my pill. When you take the antibiotic and the anti-inflammatory pills, it makes you sleep a little bit drowsy. So that's why I could not be replying. But I read everything, and I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, my fathers, I read everything. I listened to your messages. I was overwhelmed. And the only reason why I live today is because of your prayers. Because your prayers are stronger than those who pray against us. Listen, the Bible is clear that God is going to fix a table in the midst of our enemies. If those people don't pray for us to die, then they will not have fulfilled that part of the Bible where God says he's going to create a table in front of our enemies. Always be certain that you have people who don't want you to live. The world is full of predators, just as there are prey. So it depends on who you are. It depends on what you want. It depends on how you want the focus of your life and your orientation to be. You have to be steady. You see me, I pray every time for everybody to succeed. That is why I never fail. You get the point? Imagine you are praying that I should fail. Imagine my 8 children. When I talk 8, I talk my biological children and my 2 adopted. I have 6 biological children. 2 adopted. I have 8 children. Proudly father of 8. Imagine that they go down on their heels. They put their heels to pray for me. My siblings pray for me. You think I can die? It's very tough. I cannot die at 36. It's practically impossible. I cannot. It's not possible. It's never going to happen. Because that is not the will for God for me. And even if I were to die tomorrow, means that is what God decided. It's not because a group of posters somewhere and they think that, every Tata must die and stuff like that. No. This is not possible. So all of us must put our hands on deck. Pray for the survival of one another as human beings. We must all understand that the prosperity of one person is the prosperity of the nation. So please stay focused. Know that I'm very strong, healthy, or healthier than ever before. And sometimes you're going to get sick, sometimes you're going to get well. And I'm happy for all of you who prayed for me. And I have one prayer for you, that God should bless you immensely. God should bless you like you've never seen blessing before. Those of you who pray for me to die, I also pray that God should bless you. Live long. You don't need to die. I can't come and pray, oh no, you should die. Oh, please, you don't need to. It's important because I want all of you to live. When they'll be writing me in magazines as the richest man in Africa, richest man in this, I want you to read it. You get the point? I want you to be reading those things because you will read them. It's very important. I am looking at expanding my capitalization to many millions in dollars in the next few months or 1 year. And we'll all use that to make sure that we cripple our republic to come home. So don't bother about it. Pray for those who pray that they should die, that they should live. Because they have to live. It's part of the ecosystem. If they die, Who is going to read about me when I'm the richest man tomorrow? Or the richest man in Africa, or the richest Amazonian per se, or the richest Amazonian activist, or the richest Amazonian journalist? I must carve a niche of something to be the top. That's how God created me. JHS Really, when I went there, I just came there, I was the best student. I went to JHS Limbe, 2 years I was the best. I'm always the best. That is how I have been made. And I have to recognize this grace of God in me. It's not pride. It is called confidence. I know I never fail. When I fail, I get up, I still try. I'm not a quitter. That's why I'm always a winner. So please, stay alive, never die. And don't expect that the CEO of Dimples can come and reply to people whose capitalization run below $1,000. I'm running my capital. No, I'm honest about this. It's very important. And that's what I've come to tell them. And for those of you who are my supporters, my fans, what I own is what you own. Because there is no day I will not show you the trick how to make the money. It's easy. It's simple commitment. Come to the Dimples Business Consultancy. Let's grow our wealth together. And it's exactly what I came to tell these people who pray that I should die, because they don't like to hear you when you talk about how you're successful. They call it pride. It's important because Satan hates to see a successful person. But you have to make sure that you tell them, remind them, you don't know me. You don't know me. I've been talking Amba 4 years, but you never knew me. I got into Amba when I was 32. You don't know how much I was worth when I was just 25. You don't know. Ask those in Manfi. For a young man at 25 to have bought and built a house worth over 80 million CFA back in Africa selling newspapers, you should know that he was game to be a wealthy man. I've never been poor because I have known how to work. So it's not now that I'm in America and I'm going to 36, very soon I'll be 40, and I'm creating companies. And America has so much of a good business environment. So these are the things I've come to say. If you hate me because I'm telling you the truth, that's your business. My calculation after this, I'm going to be checking trades, what's going on, what coins I'm going to be buying. If you want to learn all those things, come to my school. We have the Dimples Business Consultancy. Just 3 weeks, 1 month, online, maybe 2 months, depending on what you want to take. And you'll be good. When you go, you see your focus will be different. You get the point? When people talk about you, don't bother. They're always going to talk. If you imagine that if I were not a focused young man, I will not be growing my capital the way I'm growing it. To be honest. So you look at what we're doing the launch of our car rental, you understand the kind of capitalization we're talking about. And I know that Republic now is panicking because they know that when Ambazonia is wealthy, the war is they're never going to win the war. They hope that we're going to use these armed robbers who are using this draft stock to drain our people, make people to lose confidence, and then destroy the revolution. But they see that every day Ambazonians are coming stronger. One more thing, if you have not followed this page, make sure you follow this page. This is where I'll be coming occasionally, from time to time, maybe once a week, or maybe some time to come and address issues in the revolution. So if you have not followed this page, make sure that you follow this page, okay? Everybody, this is our new page. You see, they have taken down all our pages. Look at where we are. So have you asked yourself, why is it that it's only Eric Tato's page that they are deleting, including his business page? It means there's something special about this guy. It's simple. So the Moses is here. We are going to make sure that we liberate Ambazonia. I want to thank all of you who are watching, Manu Queen and the rest. My very good sister. I praise God for all of you who prayed for me. Look at how strong I am. You know, when I was in the hospital, my throat was blocked because I had that swelling, the infection. And then I took the picture, I put on my status. I'm the one who put the picture on my status, just talking about my Psalms 23. And then they took it from there, they put it all over social media. Then the doctors gave me some anti-inflammatory, my throat went down. My kid brother was outside at the emergency. And then he's the one who called me. That was the only call I took. That bro, they saying everywhere that you're dead. I said, oh, don't worry, we're going to check that later on. Let me get done with this scan. I went to the scan, and then they sent me to ENT, mouth, all those things and stuff like that. I went to the emergency at 3 a.m. because I had this infection, it was disturbing me. I could not eat, breathe. It was disturbing me a little bit, but I mean, it was painful. I got a little bit scared at times, you know, because health issues, something inside, we don't know. So I'm just explaining what happened. So on that day, my kid brother came and took me here at 3 a.m. And they went to the emergency because it got swollen. And then when I went there, they said, oh, no, don't worry. The doctors checked me and said, okay, no, I'm out of danger and stuff like that. They gave me something. The throat went down. And then I went at 3. And then they kept me there till 9 a.m. because I had to go see the E&T man at 9. They booked an appointment. So I went there, he checked me, and then I just finished my last drug, my antibiotic. It just got done today because it's the last day of my medication. And then just put me on a 4-day medication and I'm good. And then listen, come on, the rock is the rock now. People should know this by now. Listen, if you see news about me, take your time to go and announce. And I see, it's just going to be normal. So I'm fine. That's what happened. It was an infection. So when I went, they said, they were going to drain because the scan showed a little bit of pus, like there was a form of an abscess in my throat. But when I went, the E&T man said, no, don't worry, you're fine. Your cells very strong. We're just going to put you on antibiotics for 4 days and stuff. And all. So, and then I'm done. That's it. So I spent less than 6 hours in the hospital. And in the 6 hours I spent in the emergency, I spent like 1 hour in a little bit of pain because when I came, my throat was swelling. I was a little bit frightened because, I didn't know. I've not had that kind of condition before. And I was saying, the I was so sick, maybe it can cut off and stuff. That was just my thought. I was worried. So when I asked the doctors, doctor, can I swallow my speedo? They say, yeah, you're good. I mean, anything that's in your throat can be swallowed up or down. You want to speed it out, you want to swallow it, that's your problem. I said, okay. Then I'm fine. So when they put that, I started breathing normally. I was never on oxygen, never on anything. It's just all those things they put in the hospital to check my BP and then give me blood because I couldn't eat at that time. So they were giving me food and all of those things. So I was surprised that they said, that is dying. And some people were just so happy as I heard, because I didn't read up to 10 people praying that I should die. What I read were tons of messages on all my WhatsApp and all of those people praying. Listen, let me tell you something. There is no way you can pray for a good man and you're not rewarded with goodness. That's why I'm praying back to you. You are all blessed in Jesus' name. Those who pray that I should do well. And our enemies are not actually our enemies, because people who are your real enemies, they can never go publicly to say that I should die. They're just people who are carried away. They are not mature the way they handle life. Their communication is very, erratic. They don't have basic skills communicating the way they carry themselves. So they are not really your enemies. To be honest, if anybody pray that I should die openly, that person is not my enemy. Real enemies will just stay quiet. Like those talks in Yaoundé, they'll be happy, just quiet. They cannot come and write that, that guy should die. No. People just get excited because they feel that according to them, but they are not God. That should be your reward. But there is no way you're not the person defining a reward for a man on earth. It's only God who does that. That's why what I've learned, because my wife is a prayer warrior, she's very strong. What I've learned from her is not to revenge, not to pray for back to people. She always tells me, listen, you're succeeding because of this, because of that. So you have to remain cautious of the fact that you have to pray for everybody to succeed, including those who pray back for you. And that has been my motivation. Every morning, Sunday, when I got up, I make sure I drive my wife to church. Although she drives, but I take her to church with my little daughter. Personally, I will tell you the truth. I pray in my house. I don't have no exact church that I go to. I pray in my house, play gospel music on Sunday, sometimes do my own little things, but I drive my wife and my kid to church, make sure they're there in church every Sunday. That's what I do. And when I come back, I pray, I read, I do my research and all of those things. So that's what I'm saying. That some of you don't even know me. You don't even know if I go to church, what church I go to or not. You don't know the kind of prayer I pray. You don't know the kind of gospel music I worship and all of those things. So how do you want to define me on social media? Because I'm talking on behalf of Amba. So don't do that. Don't do that. All right, let's stay positive. And remember, nobody is ever back. Everybody is in and everybody is doing what they can do at any time. So this is not somebody's farm, somebody's property. This is just my page, right? So anytime I say something, I can come in and say something. So please, if you join, you follow this page, because this is where you get all the update, all the news on National Telegraph henceforth. Everything will be done here on this page to further notice. We also have National Telegraph Africa. The 13th of June, we're going to resume everything publishing. Even the launching of our car renter is going to be here. And you see everything that we're talking about. Those who are getting ready to buy franchise, we're going to make franchise very cheap for everybody to come in so that we all can grow the world. Listen, America has 50 states. There are 331 million Americans. So there's no way I can want to know this and I keep it for myself, because if we have, only in Maryland, we can have 50 people have franchise. Like enterprises everywhere. Sometimes you go to rent cars, enterprise does not have cars, budget does not have cars, Arbis does not. So all these things we have to make sure that we get capitalization. We increase our capitalization. I'm here to help everybody. So it's not my age, or because you think that I'm Amba, you think that, oh, but what's he saying? No. Look at Zuckerberg. When Zuckerberg was only running in millions of dollars, he was not even 34 or stuff like that. You get the point? Look at when they created Facebook. Go and read the story of Casa de la Facebook, the mother who gave Zuckerberg the first house to operate the Facebook stuff. So all of us must remain very focused. You get the point? These white guys don't have magic. Google is LLC, National Telegraph is LLC. They should not be richer than us. So the problem here is our ideology. So we must change it. We must change the shape of our brains. We must remain focused. Money is so easy to work in America, all right? I'll just give you a small math. My point here is I want to make $1 million every month in this country, even in one day. We can do it. Okay, imagine we bring pools of all people who have party renters, and everybody is renting through us. We can decide the price, we can fix the price, we can decide our policies. So we do that. The richest man now that has beaten Jeff Bezos is I think the CEO of LVHM, some Frenchman who does not even have any product, but he has he's taking collection of good wines, clothing, all the Louis Vuitton that are under him. But those are people's company, but he's doing the collection. So we have to be smart. You get the point? These guys don't have magic. People sell charcoal and make money. Little children, you are using Apple. How much is an Apple phone that you are buying $1,000 in America? It's less than $60 in China. The cost price of production. But you're buying $1,000, $2,000, and you're taking phone. A small child in China makes phone, or in Japan makes a phone. You go there, you are taking it on credit for something for $60. When are we going to create our own? You get the point? When are we going to create our own? So we can make our own hotel. Anything we can do as a team, make our own credit union. We can do all these things so easy because the business environment here is friendly. You don't need to go bribe somebody to get a license to do this, to do that. You just take your time. It's going to delay. Something might disqualify you today. Tomorrow you might be qualified. You might use another person's name, your relative. So we can actually be what we want. And that is my focus. So my focus would never be coming to disturb myself about people who are saying that Eric Tato should die or should not die on social media. How is that my business? If you say that I should die, how much does it remove from my bank account? Nothing, right? Nothing. I have all my bank cards here. Nobody takes it except me. So that's the point. That's exactly what we're saying. So it doesn't reduce anything with my bank account. Nobody knows my PIN or my CVV. You get the point? So everything is about me and you and us coming together and trying to make sure that things work. So business is what is going to, business will bring capitalization. Capitalization will change Amba. So when people become business oriented, they work hard, they don't steal. They don't do what? They don't steal. To be honest. You don't think that you think I have leaders? No, all these guys here who call themselves, they are armed robbers, pure armed robbers. There's no way somebody cannot be in America, no job, and you think he's going to be doing anything to help this trouble. No, he's going to steal from this trouble. All right. So I want to thank you. If you've not shared, make sure you share extensively. Let's just wait and see. Right. This is June. Just wait. June, 3 months, you see things that you will not imagine. We're just going to be explosive. That's why I've said today that don't ask me nothing about that. I've removed myself from anything money. Because how much is Amba contributing? You people can contribute, you drop, you announce 2 million, you come and pledge 1.5. Nobody ever sees anything. You get the point? So we have to stay focused. That's what's important. We have to stay very focused. So if you have any issue, those who are talking, I've told you today, I'm not anything in that. I'm a floor member. Don't ask me anything. I'm not a manager. I'm nothing. If you want your money, go back to the website, go and ask. I think all the members that contributed, like I think $18,000 or something, that's what they contributed. So if you think that you're not satisfied, go there. What's my business? These are my bank cards. No one is connected to any Amba thing. You get the point? Yeah, no one is connected to any Amba stuff. So there is no way you're going to say anything about Amba that's going to affect me financially. It doesn't. It doesn't. On the contrary, the way it affects me is that I spend my money on it. All right? So, thank you so much, all of you who have joined. If you have not shared this video, Ambazonians need to learn on how they can increase their capitalization. Those who will not learn now will never learn. There are always going to be people who are going to be negative. Everyone you are saying something that helps them. Because they come with fake profiles on Facebook, they remain poor in real life. You get the point? I'm saying something today that let me tell you something. I can teach you tomorrow. You buy some crypto coin. Somebody also taught me, one of my small man, Victor, he's there in Grifters. He's the one who taught me. I learned from him. He's the person who showed me that, okay, get into crypto. My wife was doing it. I was not interested. You get the point? So, all of us, 1 minute. think. So all of us must learn from people. You get the point? So it's not even something that we should be bothered about. And, quickly. So I want to thank you all, and I appreciate your time. Honestly, over 1,000 for a new page. It's fantastic. I know a lot of people come back to watch. Let me not make it too long. I think I'll leave it at this juncture. Just 1 hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes show. Excellent. Thank you all excessively. I'm very touched by most of you, and I pray for you. We'll be talking from time to time, and most of the time we'll only be educating people on how to make sure they get money, get capitalization. That's what's important. That's what's going to save Ambazonia, okay? It's not this talking on Facebook. Don't worry, they're always going to talk, but our focus is, because when they make noise, we buy more cars. They make noise, we buy more cars. That's all we should do. They make noise, we should do something that makes the enemy angry, all right? So thank you so much. God bless you, all right? Thank you.